Today is Thursday, Parashat Vayigash. Well, the Parashah of this week tells us a story that happened about over 3,500 years ago. It's a very moving story of Yosef revealing his identity to his brothers, Yaakov meeting Yosef after 22 years of not having seen him. But this Parashah also tells us about the first exile, when Yaakov and his family moved from the land of Israel to Egypt. And the Torah, rather than just teaching us something that has to do with a story that happened about our forefathers, there are always lessons to learn from the Parashah, lessons that are applicable to every day and age. We'll speak about two lessons that we learned from the Parashah of this week that are very, very much relevant to the time that we live in today. When Yaakov is about to come down to Egypt with all his family's 70 souls, he sends an advance man to Egypt. That advance man was Yehuda. The family was about to settle in a new land. Somebody has to go there ahead of them to prepare the place for them to be settled. So you would think that a lot of the concern there would be about the housing, where they're going to live, what type of activities they're going to be involved in, maybe professionally or in terms of earning a living, or many, many type of concerns that could be as somebody moves to a new country. By the way, they do say that one of the most difficult thing for a person to deal with is moving. When you move from one place to another, usually you're settled in the place where you live. Any movement to another place, let alone to another country, entails a lot of insecurity sometimes, or not knowing what's going to happen and how and what. You're used to your own routine. There's a lot of changes, so there are a lot of things to be concerned about. So, but what does Yaakov tell Yehuda? He sends him lehorot, lefanav. Lehorot is a word that means to guide, but there is a most important concept there. Rashi explains, to establish a place of learning Torah. In other words, the community of the family of Yaakov is about to move to another country. One thing to ensure the continuity, the eternity of that family in terms of their Jewish identity and their survival is number one, to establish a place of learning Torah. And that teaches us a great lesson for every community. And we see it over the last decades. Communities that made sure to have a strong Jewish education part of the community programs, of Jewish day schools that teach traditional, in a traditional way, the Torah, HaKedoshah, then those communities flourished and thrived. The communities that did not make Torah education as part of the community programs, those communities over time intermarried, assimilated, and their Jewish identity sort of like over 2, 3, 4 generations somewhat got diluted and disappeared to some extent. So Yaakov Avinu teaches us, want to establish you in a new place, first of all, yeshiva. We have examples here in the US. We see in Lakewood, when they established the Bet Midrash Gavoa, which is a place of learning Torah, the place is flourishing as a Jewish community. And by comparison, some other places in the Midwest, where maybe 80 years ago there was a community that arrived from Europe that did not make Torah education a part of their community activities, those communities are almost non-existent today. So that's one lesson we learned from the Parashah of this week. Another lesson we learned from Yosef, who made sure that his family settled in the land of Goshen, in a place where they could be together. They could be together as a community. And together as a community is something that also ensures the continuity of Am Yisrael. We need a minyan to have prayer. We need to have a community with all its services and all its benefits. So another thing also. So you want a continuity of your family, of your grandchildren, your descendants, connect to a place where there is a Jewish community and to settle in a place where there is togetherness and there is in the same geographical area. Because on Shabbat you can be together. There is a lot of benefit from that. So that's also another lesson from the Parashah of this week. So good Jewish day schools and a place for community to be in one area, in one neighborhood, is something that can be very beneficial, not just for the family of Yaakov as they were going to settle into a foreign place of Egypt, but for any time, any day and age, and any place in the world. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen ve'amen.